Hi friends, I'm Erin, and this is Erin Go Read. It is Shorty September, and this is going to be a weekend reading vlog for what I get read for this beginning weekend. It's Labor Day weekend of Shorty September. I have to go to work at the gym here in a few minutes, but I wanted to show you just at least the library books that I got, and then later I'll probably show you the rest of the books that I have in mind. That one is definitely not short, but it's an omnibus. It's a bind up of multiple books. So first of all, I'm a big baseball fan, and I found this Stephen King book called Blockade Billy. I think it's actually a true story, and he's telling the story of this particular baseball player. Then we have Learning to Talk, Stories by Hilary Mantel. It's a short story collection, I think about people in Ireland. Then we have Seven Steeples by Sara Baume, which I think this one also takes place in Ireland. A stunning novel about a couple that moves with their dogs to the Irish countryside, immersing themselves in nature and attempting to disappear from society. I just saw it and I liked the cover, and then I liked the description. One I'm not so sure about, The Vegetarian by Hong Kong. And then finally I have book 2 of March, the John Lewis graphic novel series. I actually bought book 1 of this with Doris from Aldi Books at McKay's in Nashville the day that John Lewis died. I bought it before we found out that he actually died. So that was kind of like a special memory, I suppose, associated with that. And I haven't been able to find the second one to buy it, so I picked it up from the library. So I'm off to work. I'm still reading A Hero Born, which I have that in my backpack, and so I'll be reading that, actually, when I'm at the gym, if I have any downtime in between classes and clients and all that. So, yeah, let's see how many books I can get read this weekend. When I get back from work, I will show you the other books that I have to read from my own TBR collection. Well, no reading has happened yet today. I ended up having to work my entire shift. What the heck? There was no time to read at work. And then I got home with cramps, and I just laid down for a little while before I forgot that I had somewhere to be for my Active 2030 club. Didn't remember that until kind of the afternoon, and so I just laid down for a little while after I took some Advil, and woke up to my phone ringing. I didn't think I was going to fall asleep. Long story short, I'm now in Midtown Sacramento, where we just had the installation of our new, officers, all that, but there's a bookstore like half a mile from where we had it, Beer's Books, so I just came in here to do a little book shopping. So, I got a few things for Shorty September. The first is not. I have The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. Don't know a whole lot about it other than I've seen a lot about it, and I found a used copy, so I decided to pick that up. We have some James M. Cain noir. Never read any noir. The Postman Always Rings Twice, which I've seen before, and I found this pretty cool edition. And so this will be a good Shorty September noir book, coming in at 116 pages. Then I have The Dark Tower and Other Stories by C.S. Lewis. So another shorty here. The nice thing, and it's short stories too. This is 154 pages. The nice thing about this is I can kind of dip in and out of this one because it's short stories. And then I have My Antonia by Willa Cather in the Penguin Black Spine editions. And I got some sweet new bookmarks as well. So always love a good. Oh, I didn't realize they're reversible. Sweet. So I got a few of those. And it has a little to read thingy on the back. Super cute. So there we are. So I've decided I need to do just like a reading marathon. That's what next. It's Saturday evening. What time is it? It's 6:30 Saturday evening, and it's just freaking hot. It's supposed to be like 110, 111 the next couple days. It's only 101 right now. It's cooled down. It was I don't know. It's just hot. Just ready for sweater weather, for sweatshirts and joggers, and just to not be hot all the time. But it's a dry heat, right? At least we don't have any humidity. So I'm going to go home and get my reading on. This is maybe not a wise choice. I got some coffee, right by some Phil's coffee. Anybody knows Phil? He makes a good brew. So I'm going to go home, and I'm listening to Jayber by Wendell on audiobook. That is my book club books selection for this month. It's just kind of like a sweet agricultural small town. Jayber is the town barber, and we're just kind of finding out about him and where I am in the story. He just got his first job as a barber, and I think he's still pretty young. But it's a really nice audiobook too. I really like. I don't know who the narrator is, but it's a really nice voice. And I just saw Heidi at my reading life. Just read something else by Wendell, a nonfiction. I think it was like an essay thing, like the Penguin Green books thingy. Anyhow, so I'm looking directly into the sun. So I'm going to stop this so I can turn and get home and get some actual reading. Finished my first Shorty, The Postman Always Rings Twice by Cain. It wasn't like life-changing or anything like that, but it was a fun noir ride, I guess. So it's basically this guy is hard up, needs a job. He's kind of a wanderer, and he ends up working for this Greek guy and basically falls in love or lust with his wife. And then they plot to kill him, and it's kind of about that and what happens through all that. It's a definitely problematic of its time kind of thing, but it was really fun. It was the first noir book I've ever read, and I'm glad I read it. And so now I have just read the prologue of The Seven Steeples by Sara Baume. My dog is whining about something, I don't know what. So I've just read the prologue of this, and it's this young couple have just moved from kind of near Dublin to kind of this big like mountain. Not mountain. It's smaller than a mountain and bigger than a hill. And so far we've just kind of found out about their belongings and the things that they did and didn't have, and there seems to be some sort of maybe an environmental mystery that might be kind of going on. It's kind of told in an interesting poetic style. Like, Stevie, stop. He keeps licking me. At the end of lines, every now and then, there will be like this big spacing. Oh, can you stop? Oh my gosh, he's licking me. There'll be this, like the line will stop and then will continue over here. So, I feel like I'm not smart enough to understand why that's happening, other than to notice that it's happening. But also, I'm watching US Open tennis. Happy Labor Day. It is early. It is 5:20 on Monday morning. I woke up like an hour ago, and amid a bit of scrolling, I've been reading Seven Steeples, and it's a really interesting novel. Sara Baume is definitely a poet and writes very poetically, I suppose. And this book is really interesting because there's not much of a plot. So it's as if this mountain is witnessing the lives of Belle and Cy, and then their two dogs, Voss and Pip. And we're just seeing these little things that are happening day to day, and their lives seem to be somewhat, they very much like isolated themselves. And I just got to a part where they talked about even when they go into town, which they try to avoid doing or try to do as rarely as possible, they even kind of disguise themselves by wearing just like hats and sunglasses, like they don't want to be seen. So they very much have isolated themselves, and they're just very much this little family unit of the husband and wife and the two dogs. And the mountain is just kind of like witnessing this, and their house seems to be kind of falling into disrepair. They, at the beginning it talked about what they did for work, but it doesn't sound like they're working anymore. It did mention that they are on social welfare, whatever they call it. I can't remember what they called it in Ireland, but their lives seem to be kind of degrading, and we're just getting this like bird's eye mountain's eye view of their lives, and learning about who they are. So it's like it's hard to describe because not much is happening. It's just what's going on in their lives, and the bath mat that's always hanging on the laundry line that never gets taken down. It just lives there, and the mouse that starts living in the wall, and they catch the mouse and let it go, and these little things. But it's oddly captivating, I think, because you're just like viewing, it's very like voyeuristic. I think that's what it is. Like there's no plot, but it's just very voyeuristic watching the lives of these two people. So I'm gonna read for a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna have to get ready, probably like 10 minutes. I need to get ready to go to work. I'm training a class at 6 and a class at 8, and then I'll do my own training at 7 in between. It's kind of nice. I get to work out on the clock. It's always nice when that happens. And so I'll be done working by 9 o'clock today. I do have one more person that I have to see via Zoom this afternoon. But other than that, it should be a nice reading and maybe probably like doing some stuff around the house kind of day. I literally have a giant, just stacks of books next to me here on the couch. And my dog wants out. So I'm going to go tend to him, read a little bit more, and I should come back to you when, oh my goodness, when I finish this. So I'm home from work. I am folding some laundry. I've got a card table here in the living room, and I'm watching BookTube while I do that. The air conditioning just came on. It is 10:08, and the thermostat is set to 80, and the AC just kicked on. So that's the kind of day we're having. The high is 114 today. So yeah, Labor Day will be spent at home. I am done working for the day. Out of the house, I have one client who I see on Zoom this afternoon. But other than that, I'm just gonna be like cleaning up the house, just like taking care of all of this mess. I need to vacuum and get my room cleaned up, spick and span, just so I feel like it helps me feel calm starting the week, and then reading. So I'll probably be watching BookTube while I do the cleaning kind of stuff. Maybe I'll listen to some Jayber Crow, and then I'll get back into the books. I'm in 7 Steeples, but I kind of would like to pick up something a little bit more plot forward. So maybe one of the H.G. Wells I'll get into in a little bit. I ended up with 8 lonely socks. 8 individual socks with no pair. This one, I think, is my nephew's. I do not live in the desert. It is September freaking 5th, and it is 113 degrees outside. I did not sign up for this. I am ready for some fall weather. Give me some cozy reading, some blankie time. I want a hoodie. I want some warm drinks. You know, when you're waiting for that email and you just keep hitting refresh and you can't think about anything else? Yeah. So I'm waiting for my book editor is supposed to get, said that the next round of revisions for my memoir, she's gonna have done by the end of the weekend. And it's 5/29 on Monday, and I assume she meant like the extended weekend, so I didn't expect it by yesterday necessarily. And it's not like a hard deadline or anything like that, but I'm just like expecting it, waiting for it. I want to know what she has to say because I feel like it's in a pretty good place at the moment. So I really want to see her comments because it's in response to her comments on the last draft, and then I also had multiple people read it, and I made lots of other like additions and revisions based on other people's feedback, and so I'm really interested to know what she has to say. So I'm kind of waiting for that very impatiently. She liked something on Facebook and I was like, but where is my email? So anyhow, I just took myself out to like an early dinner, beer on a flatbread. And I was reading The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. I didn't make it very far. It's hard for me to get like super absorbed, especially in something new while I'm at a restaurant. I'm on page 19. But how many pages is this? It's 99 pages. I felt like my brain was exploding talking about like the fourth dimension and in time and like a line, like the axes have no like dimension in and of themselves. Like a line has no depth or thickness to it. It's just a line. And like I felt like I was back in like my stoner days, honestly. And I was thinking, wow, this, yeah, a side of something might go well with this book. I just had an IPA. But anyway, basically what I've read so far is pretty much just the setup for, I think, what the story is going to be. So everyone is named except for Philby, whoever Philby is. Everybody is just named like the Silent Man, the Time Traveler, the Psychologist, and we are just introduced to, he's just kind of like the time traveler is like having this conversation with these people. He had told them about this time machine and like just the concept of the fourth dimension being time. And then he comes back and he's all like bedraggled and like dusty, and he's got like a cut on his chin, and he's just wearing like bloody socks, and he's like, hang on, I gotta go change, save me some mutton, and then I'll tell you the story. And so I think the most of the book is going to be him telling this story of what happened as he assumingly, traveled in time. So that's where I am with that. So all that being said, I'm going to get back to some reading. I think I'm going to go back to the 7 Steeples. Just 7 Steeples. 7 Steeples. I like Sigrid Nunez has a quote here that I like. It says, "It takes both daring and humility to write a book as unique as 7 Steeples." And I think that's fitting, because as I've said before, not much is happening. We're just kind of, it's like as if we are the mountain viewing this couple and their dogs. So it's really interesting. And I'm really interested to find out like what is she really saying in this book, because I haven't gotten to that point yet. I have a feeling that it has something to do with isolation. However, and maybe we're gonna see this couple change in some way, whether that's negatively or positively or both or neither, but change in some way due to their isolation. And that's probably some sort of commentary, I imagine, on like COVID, and without it directly being a pandemic novel, just maybe speaking to the isolation that has happened to us in that. So I'm gonna get to reading and stop babbling. By the way, I gave myself a haircut earlier today when I was cleaning. Not too shabby, eh? I had my haircuts are like all scheduled out for the year every 3 weeks on Fridays. But my last haircut was scheduled on the day of my race a week ago Friday, and so I wasn't able to get it, and it was driving me crazy. And especially like the hair like right back here, especially on the right side, just the way that the growth pattern is, it's sticking out in a weird way, and then over my left ear it just grows out straight when it gets to a certain length. So it's driving me nuts. And then also it was just like too long in the back here compared to the front. It was driving me nuts. And so I cut it today, and I actually think I did a damn good job, if I don't say so myself. Still very much looking forward to my professional haircut in, I think 2 weeks. Now actual reading time. I just did some editing of the vlog, and I mentioned a little continuity there. I have a haircut that I didn't mention. So now you know. I'm gonna check out here. I don't have much else to say. I've continued to read this. I'm about halfway through 7 Steeples, and it's been more of the same. The kind of continued disintegration kind of this couple, like of their house. It's almost like the landscape is starting to kind of take over their household, and they don't seem like very clean people. They're just kind of allowing this degradation to happen. And yeah, I don't have really much else to say about it. It's really beautiful. I would, like, on the one hand, I recognize how stunning it is, how stunning the writing is. On the other hand, I kind of want to be done with it, and just like get through it, because like not a whole lot is happening, and I'm feeling a little bit impatient with it. So it's kind of, you know, hit and miss as far as that goes. Sorry, I just got distracted by a home run by my baseball team. Go Giants. Tied it up. Yay. Anyhow, my eye is stinging. Anyhow, I'm going to wrap this up so I can finish this vlog editing and get it up, and then kind of really get ready to go to bed. It's going on it's going on 8 o'clock, and I'm starting to get kind of sleepy. So I'll probably start to get ready for bed and then take this with me to said bed. So love to know if you are doing Shorty September. What are you reading regardless? How was your Labor Day? Was it as hot as mine? Can you tell I'm over the heat? I can't wait to start talking about how cold I am. I say that now. Thank you for watching. See you around the tubes.